Go.
Sport fans, I'm Michael Sakala.
And I'm Brandon Wicker.
And here we are, 2015, at Belushi.
Coming to you live.
Coming to you live. How was your new year?
Pretty good. Had a good New Year, good Christmas.
I gotta tell you, this change we got, this bizarro world, I'm sitting on the other side. Rick, by the way, might be your better side, if you don't mind me saying so.
When you're a front runner, both sides are good.
This is true. Front runner, both sides are good. So, Brando, here we are getting ready to talk about the playoffs. The playoffs!
Playoffs?
How did we get here? Can you recap the last couple of weeks and let us know how did we get to this point?
You know, we talked about that game coming up with your sub 500 winner out of the NFC, and how Carolina had a better chance.
Yes.
It's funny to me. Atlanta going into that game, all their wins except for one came in the division. They were 5-0. Had that game at home.
Yep.
And laid an egg 34-3.
They never showed up.
They only won one game.
They never
and that was
showed
against
up.
Arizona after they lost all their quarterbacks. It's the only other game Atlanta won.
I didn't understand what happened to Hot Atlanta. They just completely fell apart.
Then we had Cincinnati once again with the chance, but they were on their 2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
Yes.
They were on their lose cycle.
Yes.
So instead of beating Pittsburgh and having the higher seed, they now have to go on the road and play the Colts.
Of course.
I just could not believe that. Of course, the only ones to take care of business was Green Bay. We've been talking about this Phillip Rivers thing, chiding back and forth.
I say trading.
think
I'm
it's time
telling
to
you, I think
trade?
it's time for him to go to Buffalo.
It was funny. They were the one team. This is the last thing what I'm going to say about last Sunday. All they had to do was win.
And they
They're
couldn't
in
do
the
it.
playoffs.
They couldn't do it.
All ESPN talked about the whole morning was Phillip Rivers is going to get it done because he is so good in the month of December, along with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and all these December quarterbacks. Of course, Tony Romo is not. He's not a December quarterback.
No, he's not at all.
And Chargers all the way.
And they laid a bomb.
What December has meant to Phillip Rivers is a nice-looking little record on my piece of paper here, 34-8 in the month of December.
Yeah.
No Super Bowl
No,
championships, no AFC championships, no nothing. One AFC championship game and they're spanked by New England
That's
at
what
home.
I'm saying.
It
I
just-
still say it's time for the Chargers, this mediocre, 8-8, 10-6 years, go to the playoffs and lose. It is time to go to the youth
I tell you
program.
what.
Trade the
some
Buffalo.
of the stuff you can come up with is intriguing. That's one right there.
What's that?
Buffalo. Except for this the wild thing their coach did. I mean, if he was on that team,
They beat them.
they've built the defense already.
Yeah. And to me, it's a win-win. Buffalo gets a starting quarterback, a veteran quarterback for the next couple of years to help their young guys out. And the Chargers get a bunch of trades, and they get a bunch of draft picks, and they can start the youth movement. But will it happen? Apparently, I guess everybody's in love with him. I don't know.
I see they're trying to sign Rivers.
Well,
make him a Charger for life. They're trying to do.
Right.
That's what I heard.
Well, you might be noticing.
We did
Go ahead.
we did come off of that,
What's that?
though, remember, into Black Monday.
Yes.
And so we have to remember we have, the 49ers doesn't count.
Yeah.
We knew that was coming, that was unusual. But we have the Raiders, Jets, Falcons, Bears, and now the Buffalo, due to the
Yes.
walk-off teams that's now searching for a coach. Okay, go ahead.
Well, you might have noticed my attire today.
Yeah, nice shirt on.
Yes, I do. It's a personalized shirt. Well, Calvin's been playing big boy football the last couple of weeks, so I figure I got to represent with a big time hat. That's why, to be honest with you, I got on my 10, 20 gallon hat.
10 gallon on today, yeah.
Yes. And then also, and I want to make sure everybody at home can see this. I figured it was time I got myself a customized shirt. And it's all you can see. Here's the front of it.
Front and back.
Can you feel it? And then, how about them Cowboys? Now, for you people at home, you Cowboy fans, hit me up on Facebook if you'd like to get your hands on some of these. I'll do a pre-order and get these all your own customized Michael Sakala Cowboy
Nice
T-shirt.
Yeah.
So here we are, playoffs.
Playoffs?
Game 1 in Carolina, -6.5, and the Cards are coming to town.
That is
What
something.
do you got for this game?
Okay, in their last 6, Arizona's 2-4, Carolina's 4-2, including 4 in a row. And this is all just coming off the wayside here. I mean, they've been rotten all year. I guess if you can turn your team around and play good defense, you know, you might get somewhere. I'm picking Arizona. I know they're not the favorite, but there's something about this coach of theirs. And he needs to do it now. They're going to lose. They're going to lose their defensive coordinator and different. You know, that's what happens when your team does a good job. Now everybody's going to want this Todd Bowles.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm going Arizona, and it's just something about Carolina. I can't get behind them with a 7-1 record. I just can't do it.
Sorry. Well, to me, I'm taking the Panthers. This will be a defensive struggle. This game's going to go back and forth with these defenses. And when I speak about the defenses, I looked some things up. In the last 4 weeks, the Panthers' defense has only given up 4 touchdowns, and they've had 5 interceptions. And with a third-string quarterback, you have to assume that the Panthers' defense will step up. They're going to make plays, and they're probably even going to score 1 or 2 before this game's over. Also, what's going to be the Cardinals' sin to that defense of the Cardinals is a running quarterback. In the last 2 weeks, they've allowed over 200 yards to running quarterbacks, being Wilson and catch me if you can, Kaepernick. I have a feeling that Cam is going to break it open, and when plays break down, he's going to use his natural ability, he's going to take off, run, he's going to extend plays, and basically what he's going to do is he's going to help his running attack, which in the last 4 weeks have run almost 800 yards in the last 4 weeks. I think the game's going to be, the first half is going to be a defensive struggle, but as the game goes on, I do see the Panthers offense starting to wear on the Arizona defense, and I got the Panthers winning this 24-10.
The one thing that is going to help the Panthers out, and they better hope for it, and that is the low scoring due to their quarterback injuries, Arizona offense, because even at this point, through the season, Arizona has given up 125 points less. 125 points less than the Panthers defense. It's just a matter of where are they going to get it from.
I don't know. I think the Panthers are going to blitz that quarterback, and they're going to disrupt their offense. And I think they have just enough. Because remember, the Cardinals' defense, the run defense, is it's suspect. It's not.
Well, it's good. It's just in the last 4 weeks it hasn't been as good.
Because I think they're
through injuries and this and all that. Okay, we have a pick there, and I'm just saying, you know, it's a long road to hoe for Arizona, you know, with all the injuries. But I do see them getting through this. Actually, either team that does, this is their last round. In my opinion,
I agree.
I just figured Arizona would make it.
Then we got the Saturday night game. The Steelers are -3, and the Ravens are coming to town. What do you got for this game?
This is just like a repeat of everything. Last 6, Pittsburgh's 5-1, Ravens are 4-2. I'm going Ravens. Pittsburgh is favored by 3 at home. This is the only one where weather can be a factor. It's supposed to be rainy, windy, the old Three Rivers problem, you know.
Yes. Well,
sloppy ball. In the Ravens' favor, they're getting Haloti Ngata back. Big run stuffer. Then of course Pittsburgh has lost Le'Veon Bell for the game.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's going to be a throw 'em up game. Can they get Big Ben on the ground? Because he's going to be even.
Well,
but remember, weather can be a factor.
The Steelers are 3-0 in the playoffs versus the Ravens. Both teams this year have blowouts. The Ravens blew them out in September. The Steelers blew them out in November. You're right. Bell is out, which I believe is going to force Ben to live up to his name, which is big. And he's 6'5", 241 pounds. Yeah, he's a pretty big boy. He's having a career best this year. I looked it up. He's thrown for almost 5,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, and only 9 interceptions. To me, this game is going to go back and forth, but coming into the second half, Pittsburgh just has too many weapons. In the last 4 weeks, they've accumulated over 1,500 yards. I think the Ravens are going to wear them down, and they are just going to be pass happy all over them. And I got to tell you, and this may sound crazy, I smell a blowout. Either that or one of us had too much chili this afternoon. I'm picking the Steelers 38-20. 38-20, I think, in the second half. The Steelers, the Ravens have no one to cover those wideouts, and Big Ben's been doing it all year, and I think he's coming up again big time. With little to no help in the rushing game.
So right off the bat, we differ on both teams.
And I lost those because as of this year, head-to-head with you, I never win. So I've already lost with the Panthers, and I can't believe I already lost with the Steelers.
So I'll let you know how close these guys are. The Ravens have actually given up less than the Steelers defense.
Yes.
And scored within what? Within 19 points of what the Steelers have scored offensively. So if you think about it, those two teams are close.
Oh, they're close.
They're heated rivals.
Oh, it's
it's
going to be a fight. It's not going to be a.
Yeah,
you know, unlike Mayweather and Pacquiao, we're actually going to see this fight.
Yeah, we are actually.
Then you got the Sunday morning or the Sunday early game. You got the Indianapolis Colts. They're -3.5, and they got the Bengals coming to town. What do you got on this one?
I'm going to tell you. The pecking order should be Bengals, right? With the what we just stated before, the win two, lose one, win two, lose one, win two, lose one pattern. I'm saying we're sticking a fork in them. It's Colts. It's Colts at home. Cincinnati should be playing this game at their home against somebody else. Well, you know, maybe it would be the Colts or it would be Ravens, one of the two. You know. They went in there before earlier this season, got their whipped 27-0.
Yeah.
I cannot get behind Andy Dalton. He hasn't won a playoff game yet. I don't see him going on the road in Indianapolis against that team and doing it. I'm not saying the game's going to be 27-0 this time around. I just don't see him getting it done. I see this Bengals looking for a new quarterback after this season's over.
I've been saying it all year. The Bengals have been high,
Maybe Rivers.
and then they've been down. Just like a whore who gives back change. Well, guess what? Let me throw something on the table real quick.
All right.
Don't ask. The Bengals were down last week, so they're coming back. This is what they've been doing all year long. I look for the Bengals to win, and I see they're finally going to get Marvin Lewis after 12 seasons, finally get a playoff victory, and they're going to do it behind. They're going to just run right downhill with Jeremy Hill himself. They're just going to run this ball. They're going to control this ball. Dalton's not going to be asked to do as much as he needs to. This Colts defense, their run defense, it is suspect. It is weak. It doesn't exist. They just can't stop the run. So the Bengals are just going to run this ball. They're going to control it, and they're going to force Luck like he's been doing all year because he has no support to just throw this ball, throw it.
What happens when Luck gets up on him? How are they going to stop him trying to throw
I
it
don't
back?
think- I don't
Because
think
Dalton
they-
can't get you out of that hole.
I don't think they're.
Now, mindful of this, son. We're talking about how weak and how poor the Colts defense is. Would it surprise you to know that there's only 25 points between what each defense has given up this year, and over 100 more scored by the Colts than the Bengals?
I was not aware of that, but I still feel that the Bengals are going to be able to run on these guys, and they're going to be able to run on.
It's Colts favored by 3, and so you're taking.
I'm taking the Bengals. It's going to be close. I got the Bengals winning 30-28. I think the Luck's going to have to throw the ball way too much, which is going to open up chances for interceptions and some more problems on their offensive front.
And then we bring in the clunker of the weekend. That's kind of
Yes. Then we got the 4:00 Sunday game in Dallas, and they're -6.5, and they got Detroit coming to town. What do you got for this one?
I can't go any other way, but boys, they're 5-1. The Cowboys are in the last 6. Detroit's 4-2, only against lesser, finishing teams. The big standout, of course, is Detroit's defense. Surprisingly, 70 points. Cowboys have given up 70 more through the entire season, I'm saying.
Yeah.
But have scored like 140 something more in Detroit. Detroit just,
I didn't know the Cowboys defense did that well.
yeah, I cannot see where unless the Cowboys turn the ball over, I can't see where the Lions are going to get all their points from. Put it that way.
Well,
I see Tony Romo controlling the ball. If they follow, Green Bay's deal against them, and their offensive line is better than mine, it's not that you can't run on the Lions. It's how you do it.
yes.
It's how you, like you say, bone up, and don't stop doing it. There's going to be negative plays.
Yes.
Don't give up the run and abandon it, and you wear them down just like anybody else.
It's funny you say the word bone up because, and I got to take off the hat just to go over all this. The bottom line is, put this on, just like we did against Philly, this game will be won or lost
Yes.
in the trenches. The offensive line, it has to bone up, It has to keep Stump, Trump, Dominican Sue, and the rest of that defensive front in check. We got the #1 running offense going up against the #1 running defense. Something's got to give. They have to they have to run the ball, and they have to manage that clock. And I think the way they're going to be able to help their running game is control the middle of the field with Witten and their poor man's version of Wes Walker, Beasley, which is then eventually is going to have Romo, and he's going to get a one-on-one with Dez on the outside. Enough said about that. Because if this game, I'm telling you, if it goes tit for tat, I don't see how the Cowboys, their defense is not made for this. They're not made to go into a scoring challenge. And Detroit they'll just have their score, and that will. But at the end of the day, 2 words I think are going to control this. They're going to make this game. It's called attitude and will. The Cowboys have to run with an attitude in order to break the will of the defense at the lines. That's the only chance they got in this game. They have to stay committed to the run, keep running that ball, and just break down Detroit and keep that offense off the field. They have nothing for Calvin. There is nothing for Megatron.
So we agree on this one. I am going boys, and I just hope that your team makes it out of there injury-free for the Lions in case they do, continue on. He claims he's being picked on, little man Sue. He's being picked on, and he's going to prove it in this game. So I just hope he doesn't do something really stupid.
I watched that tape over and over again. He not only does he step back, he actually straightens out his knee, extends his leg, and his right leg, the foot, or should I say, the foot that was on the ground comes off the ground. So he literally makes it a point to lean back, put his head up, and put pressure on it. But guess what? I've been hearing it all week on the radio. Nobody likes him, but everybody wants him on their team because he's such a presence, and that's why I think it's Will. I think he's got a head case. When things are great, he's talking shit. And he does all this. When things are down, he goes into this cheap shot mode. Whatnot. Eventually, chop block. Somebody's going to hit him and take him out. I was telling you, to me, if I was Rodgers, I would pull my offensive line off to the side with no cameras. I would have told him point blank, this ever happens again, I'm coming after you, and I'm coming to get your ass. At that point, there was 2 guys, they should have turned around, and they should have nailed Sue right there, took the 15-yard penalty, and then let him know, don't ever touch him again.
That's what he's doing.
That's what they ought to do.
He's playing like 70 and pre-70 football, where that stuff would take care of that in the game,
I got the Cowboys winning 35-34. I've got them pulling out a squeaker. Now,
no, there's no way the Lions put up 34 points.
Now, time's permitting, so we got to get situated and get out of here. Got to ask you, national championship, you got the Ducks against the Buckeyes. What do you got?
You hit a sore spot. I'm glad my Badgers won their game. I could really care less. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'll shoot for OSU.
I don't know if it's the first time I actually got to watch Oregon play. They play a very fast game, very fast paced. I do like that quarterback. I'm picking the Ducks simply because I think their offense, they just seem almost unstoppable. But it will not surprise me if the Buckeyes win this because they just don't stop playing.
By the way,
they play through the
I just tried to message you and control your height. Apparently, it didn't work. Through the season, if you're big, let's run fast. Baylor runs a faster offense than
really?
Oregon. So.
Well, there you got it, sport fans. We got. Chances are, my head-to-head, I'm not going to win any of them. Thank God you picked the Cowboys because that was about the only one I got a chance on. So if I go 1-3, I'll take the 1-3 as long as it's the Cowboys winning. Everybody enjoy your playoffs. I hope everybody had a wonderful 2000, and everybody enjoy yourself and have a wonderful 2015.
That's right. See you next week.